88 gang.
Hit me.
AYB, let pipe him up, bro.
Let's go big. 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 I got hop in a car with no roof. I got hop in a car with no roof. Let's go big. 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 Let's go big.
My name is Evan Rosenblum, along with Tyron Woodley, here with a brand new show. What's it called?
Real shit, right quick. Talk about real topics, stuff you give a fuck about, but we're gonna give you a real version of what we think. Nobody can tell us what to say. Nobody can tell us how we go across these issues, so that's why we call it real shit right quick.
Good, because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about. I mean, there's been a lot that's happened since the last time we sat down with each other, man. You fought Jake Paul twice.
2 times for the 2.
You're done with the UFC. That's done. You've got a whole new chapter ahead of you in terms of your career. Got a lot of opinions on a lot of big fighters I can't wait to hear about.
Yeah, you know.
But I guess the first thing I want to hear is like, how are you, man? Happy New Year.
Man, Happy New Year, man. Hey, we got out the Jordan year. Now we're in the Mamba year. We about to go viral. I think it's time to get physical. I think me and you do a great job of the 1-2 punch. We know about things that matter.
Yeah, everybody knows you. 5-time welterweight champion of the world, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. Tyron Woodley dominated people like a Wonder Boy twice.
2 times.
Watched you beat up Darren Till in Texas. That was great.
Beat your ass.
What were some of the most memorable fights in your life?
Hey, man, to be honest, Darren Till was my most perfect fight. When I first started fighting, I envisioned a perfect fight, and that was going to be my exit from mixed martial arts, right? I believe that fight was Darren Till.
And you beat his ass.
And if you look at my career after that, I really lost interest in proving people wrong. I feel like after the Darren Till fight, there was nothing left to show. And I feel like I'm fighting my fucking clones.
Yeah.
A Usman or a fucking Kobe Covington or Luke Hay. These are guys that looked up to me.
When you were in your prime and you were the welterweight champion of the world and you were just destroying people, right? I mean, we saw Robbie Lawler. You beat up Robbie Lawler in a way that very few people have.
Like a broke leg dog.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, you went out, like I said, I was there for Darren Till. I watched you smash him. You ended that with the Darce choke. The arena, by the way, in Dallas went crazy.
Yeah, we got to talk about that in a minute too.
So then you went from like your most dominant performance, your most perfect performance, and then you went on a losing streak. You fought Kamaru Usman.
I went on a learning streak.
You went on a learning streak.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. Who was the other one?
Luke Hay and Gilbert. Let's put it like this. I lost to the goofiest motherfuckers in the UFC. I was going through a fucking big time divorce, World War fucking III. Cost me $2 million.
Wow.
I was had a girlfriend at the time. I had all this crazy shit going on in my life, but nobody knew because my personal life is personal.
Right.
I never told. I never made excuses. I never fought a world championship fight healthy, ever. I'm talking about big injuries.
Yeah.
Like nobody's
wrist was all jacked up.
My wrist was fucked up. Even in some of these other fights. But I know that when you make that walk and you sign that dotted line, you don't fucking say, "Oh, I hurt my back on my knee." Nobody want to hear that shit. It sounds like you fucking planning excuses. So I just fucking went out there and I did my thing regardless.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever say that. That's why my fucking handle was the realest.
Yeah.
I was the champion the way I wanted to be the champion in a time when everybody was being a fucking clone. And the new version of UFC is our offspring. They watched us.
Well, you paved the way.
Yeah, we was lit. I was the champion. I was fucking Tupac of the UFC. I did the shit I wanted to do. I stood 10 toes down on what I believe was right. They can never buy me. You know what I mean? And because of it, now I'm in a position where I write my own checks.
Yeah.
I put myself in a position where I make what I feel I should make.
So the UFC career ends, and then you get into business with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, taking your visibility to another level, because now you appeal to a crowd that, he had a massive audience. He won the first fight. It was competitive. You had him.
I think he won the first fight. Like, let's be real. Let's get down to the real shit. He didn't win the first fight. Think about the fight. The first 3 rounds is kind of, okay, who won? Nothing really happened. 4th round, I knocked this motherfucker through the ropes.
You did.
By the way, the rope's on the top of our head. If I knock him back, it's going to hold him up, right? My boxing coach, GT, shout out to my dog, GT. GT said, I've been in boxing forever. I ain't never seen a ring like this. He said the ropes are too loose. They tightened up the fucking ropes, right? 2nd, 3rd rope. When I hit him in the fucking ring into the rope sprung him back into the fucking fight.
Right.
Had I never had them tighten up those fucking ropes, He would have squatted and sat on his ass. That would have been a 10-8 round. Did he win the 5th round? He never won a round.
Yeah.
So how do you lose? Do the math. 8 rounds. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5.
Yeah. I honestly thought you won the fight. I thought that round was the most dominant round of the fight.
Well, yeah, it was the only time somebody really looked like they was going to get hurt.
But I do feel, if I'm being honest with you, that like there were moments in the fight where I was like, throw the hands. Like, why are you holding back?
I was trying to. My motherfucking shoulders was burning. Everybody think that boxing is something sweet, but you throwing way more punches than you ever threw. I never threw a lot of punches in MMA because some people throw a lot of punches, but I throw a lot of punches because I see the shit and I land it. So my accuracy was very, very, very high. But I don't have to throw 1,000,000 punches and land 10. I may throw 10 and land 8. So at the end of the day, when you look at Gervonta Davis, he never threw that many punches. But when he land, he can knock you out with either hand. So it was moments in the Jake Paul fight where I wanted to throw a lot more motherfucking punches, but my fucking shoulders was burning. My elbows were sore, my wrists. Because when I hit him into the ring, he came back. He sprung into my arm. So he kind of caught me where I hyperextended, like my elbow. So now it's like, damn, I want to clean this clock, but my right arm was kind of feeling fucked up. And I started throwing the left hook. That wasn't my shit at that moment. When I finished that fight, like the people that are in my close circles, I was down where we fucking did like the weigh-in deal. I was down to like this. I couldn't lift my arms, dude. My shit was fucking a wrap for a couple days. So
now we got to fast forward to the next fight. And the big question that everybody wants to know. Did you take a dive?
Please, man. My dog, my own ninja asked me this. My own ninja. Think about this. You know me, right?
I know you.
When you ask that question, I'm gonna say this for everybody because a lot of people ask me this question. Some people I just say, oh, you were there, you know, you was in the negotiation. You saw that I had to let a motherfucker hit you with the realest fucking punch ever and hit you. You can die in that bitch.
Yeah.
So you know that my integrity, what I stand for, I'm not just gonna let nobody buy me out. I just told you the industry could never afford me.
Yep.
I would never let a motherfucker pay me to say, okay, let me knock you out real quick. You know, man, you would have to give me $20 million because at that point, I got to walk away from the sport.
Yeah.
I can't fight again.
So he didn't do the little...
Man, hell no. What he did was he showed me that he was going to throw a punch. And I'm like, oh, he ain't go. The second I said, he threw it at the same time. I never cried like over spilled milk because you look at Robbie Lawler, he said, I wish I wouldn't have reacted to that fate. Dong Young Kim wish he wouldn't have took that motherfucker's man. Fucking Darren Till wish he wouldn't led with that lead uppercut. I'm a timer. I watched this shit and I picked it up. He did a feint look down. I said he was going to throw it. He wasn't going to throw it. He threw the punch. So no, I didn't take a dive. Everybody that knows me know I would never do no bullshit like that. But I feel like Jake Paul credibility came from me.
I agree.
Not Ben.
By the way, I agree 100%.
Not Nate, not Anderson. The only person that had a real face-off, the only person that really pushed the needle, the only person, like, think about our face-to-face that we did. Mm-hmm. They got 4, 5, 6, 7 million views because I'm the first person that called you out. That's right. Who wore 5 fucking necklaces in Ohio? Where you from? Who the fuck dressed like that? I said, I'm from the murder capital of the fucking world. They are rapping about my life. They're rapping about my family. Right. They're rapping about what I really lived. So I'm the person, I am culture, right? You're vulturing it, but I am it. So at the end of the day, I'm the first person and the only person that's ever called him out. Yeah. So if he's going to do a mixed martial art fight, especially in PFL, a company which I would do broadcast for, you should get
first shot.
Why would he even speak about anybody else? Yeah. Right? If you really want to step into it, making the money that he's going to make the fight, you can't get eased into it like the old school Gary Shaw, like milking you into the deal piece by piece. Yeah. You got to go right into the fucking fire.
Great.
I'm the person that he should fight in MMA if he's going to fight MMA.
All right, welcome back. What's the name of the show?
Real Shit Right Quick.
Yeah, and we have a conspiracy theory moment right now, Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, oh shit.
My name is Evan Rosenblum. I was here with 5-time UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley.
And you remember I said you can ask me, but I may not answer.
All right, so conspiracy theory time, okay?
Yeah, all right.
There has been a big conspiracy theory on the internets, on the interwebs, if you will, that during their first fight with Jake Paul, that you may or may not have had COVID during the fight. Because remember, that fight was like in the middle of the pandemic. So
Delta variant, right?
I think that's what it was. Oh, okay. So tell me a little bit about what was going on in that fight.
Now, the
Did you
Delta
have
variant
COVID?
was the harshest of all the COVID variants, and Miami was the #1 city of the Delta variant at that time. So I can see. I was on a training camp in Miami, and was Rolling Loud going on at that time. A lot of people may have thought that
Was Rolling Loud what do they call it? A super spreader event?
quadrupler spreader, even, because people just thought because it was hot outside that they
Right.
You know what? Let's just say this: no matter what you walk into the octagon or ring with, you got to go in there. You got to do your best, and I feel like nothing stopped me. Like I told you, I haven't fought a fight 100% healthy in a very long time,
Okay.
including those boxing fights. But I went out there and I did what I was supposed to do, and nothing stopped me from doing what I needed to do. And that's kind of why I'm going to leave it at.
Okay, so not a confirmation or a denial, but I'm picking up what you're putting down on that. But I will ask this question as a follow-up.
I don't like to make excuses. I don't like people to think that, okay, now he's trying to say this shit happened, so he lost the fight. Nah, I won that fight, actually. So, had I won the fight, maybe I would have said, okay, I won a fight with all these X, Y's, and Z's that was sitting in the back burner.
What was the protocol like as far as testing goes for that fight?
You mean like drug testing?
Drug testing, COVID testing, anything like that? Because I think from the outside...
Now we'll get into that shit.
Okay.
I yelled at some motherfuckers, and I have this shit. Hey, I got something coming up.
All right.
So I yelled at some people to commission specifically for this. So we were drug tested, quote unquote, supposed to be drug tested.
Sure.
They wanted to put me through a series of tests randomly because Jake had said something about, my friend saw you smoking weed at a party. I said, so motherfucker, that's legal. I said, I'm going to turn you into a pack.
was just mad he didn't get any.
The fake paw pack, right? So I joked with him, if you go back to the press conference we did in LA, you'll see me talking to him and he's talking about me smoking weed. So randomly, they came in and wanted to drug test me. Now, okay, I'm like, all right, shit, this ain't a part of the repertoire. He didn't have to do it. It was a test they were trying to make me do. Then they switched it over. I'm like, okay, that's not in my contract. So I fought it. And then we got to a point where they wanted to do a test on me to basically just make sure my organs and everything's were basically functioning properly, right? All right, that was a weird-ass test. It's like, you're over 35 years old. We want to do this test to make sure everything's Gucci. So we see that you are actually able, capable, and in a good place to fight.
Healthy.
So I said, cool. I did the test. Passed with flying colors. So now we get to the fight. Jake come mad fucking late. He like 2 hours late. So I can't get my hands wrapped until Jake gets to the fight. So I haven't had my hands wrapped. Why? Because he's not at the fight.
Right.
So I get there and he's like, oh, do a drug test. I said, why are we doing another fucking, I don't know what the fuck the test was called. A neurological test obviously is over your mind. It's some fucking test where they test your vitals.
Okay.
They did that test again. I said, why are we doing this test again?
Right.
I did this test 4 weeks ago. And if I'm not fit to fight, motherfucker, I'm already here.
Right.
So why are you testing this and these results won't get back to after the fight going on? And you told me the purpose of this test is to see if I'm fit to fight.
Right.
I said, we're supposed to take a drug test.
Right.
Me and him. They bring me out basically a pregnancy stick. We piss on the stick and they look at it. And I'm like, I'm fucking pregnant. Goddamn. I know I fought Kobe Covington not too long ago. So we get this test and I said, so now you're looking at this test and based upon this, you're saying I'm not taking drugs? That's not how it works. And I said, where's his test? He said, we already got his test. I said, that's funny because he's not here. I haven't had my hands wrapped because
Conspiracy
Jake Paul's
theory.
not here.
Conspiracy
So how do you have a negative test of Jake Paul and Jake Paul's not in the building?
Yeah.
He didn't know I said, I need your boss. He brings his boss in. And I just saw this guy not too long ago when I was in Florida. He was like, oh, I'll make sure myself. So he goes down there and said, I just tested Jake Paul myself. I said, but he told me he already had a test for Jake Paul.
Oh, so it's not adding up.
I
Math
never
isn't
took
mathing.
The drug. I've been one of the highest drug tested person in the entire UFC.
Right.
I got the Letterman jacket, the T-shirt from all the negative tests.
By the way, do you still have your jacket from all the clean tests?
Hell yeah.
Where do you
got my
keep it?
T-shirt jacket. I mean, it's in the laundry room, just chill.
I was gonna say, do you wear it when you smoke weed?
Not really. But that's still clean. It ain't drugs.
Right, okay,
That's not a performance enhancement. That's making me kind of just chill out. That's dehancing probably.
Sure.
So literally, we never did a traditional drug test. I've been drug tested a million times. Pee in the cup, seal it up,
Sure.
you sign some shit, you make
Right.
sure they don't contaminate it with
Right.
it, then send it out to the lab. And a fight of this magnitude,
Right.
I paid $35 to have it sent back rapid, right? I peed on a fucking stick. Nigga gave me an EPT, are you pregnant? 2 lines, 1 line test, right?
And 9
so
months
now
later.
we never tested after the fight. The second time we fought, we didn't test either. Now, I'm not saying that he's using, because I'm not going to accuse anybody of using steroids, but what I'm saying is that we never got tested.
Right.
Never got tested ever for the
Right.
fight.
So the problem with that is that what happens is, and I know you're definitely not accusing anybody.
No, I'm not
of
accusing
using
Jake.
anything. But what it does is, people that are looking in and saying, oh, well, this person was definitely not on any kind of steroids. Where you can kind of eliminate that altogether.
I would have
and
liked
when you
to
have these
eliminate it because
questionable
it's too
tests,
much
you can't do
money.
that.
It was too much money involved with that fight.
Right.
It was too much money in the rematch of the
Right.
fight. And that's kind of what made me mad. Like, my bag was
full
more than
transparency.
double the second time for a rematch clause. And I felt like I won the fight, number one. I felt like drug testing was a big part of the contract
Right.
when we did the shit. And then, when one person say you won and 2 people say you lost, that's why I wasn't in there trying to say, oh, good job, motherfucker. No, we fighting again. I got right to the shit. No, we fighting again. Fuck
Okay.
all that good.
So let me ask you the question. So again, you've been very respectful to Jake Paul
I
throughout.
don't got no reason not to be. Everybody want fake beef. Shit, I ain't got no beef.
And he seems to be respectful with you guys.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourselves friends? You guys get along?
I consider, this is the thing. Me and Jake Paul, whether we wanted to or not, whether we fucking went on orientation, we were business partners.
Sure.
It was my job to promote the fuck out the fight, to say as much shit that I thought in my mind that was real. I'm going to beat your ass.
Uh-huh.
And I said, you can knock me out and I can knock you out. And I'm going to try to fuck you up tomorrow. And I hope you're going to do the same thing to me. Because I fight better when people
Right.
come after me, right? And that was a real moment. And that's what really happened. I said, people are going to respect you after. That's what I said at the face-off. If you go back and listen to the audio when we did the weigh-in for the second fight,
Yeah.
I said, people are going to respect you after this fight.
Good.
Because in my mind, I was going to beat your ass, but he wasn't going to go out with a fight.
Right.
I read that in the face-off. He was going to come to fight, and that's the fight I wanted.
Right.
Now, look at the fight. 6 rounds, I won all 6 rounds. The last millisecond of the second half of the round, I dropped my hands and threw a $1 billion punch at the same time I dropped my hand.
And that happened.
That's a cookie crumble. We signed up for this shit. Big glory, big risk. We rolling these dice.
Right.
These dice right here, when you hit these motherfuckers, if it's 7, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of fame. Everything that you've been working on that's attached to your fight shit explodes. If you lose, boom, you gotta hold it for a minute. So I had to do that. I can't be banging on this dude, because if he would have dropped his hands, I'd have T-balled this shit. I'd have knocked this shit into the front row. And Logan Paul, who was fucking taking Polaroids, but I just want to kick his fucking camera off the canvas, I would have sent that shit right to him. So I can't be mad at him. He promoted the shit out the fight. I promoted the shit out the fight. We made a lot of money. We were business partners. I made more money in UFC 205 than I made in Jake Paul fight, both of them.
Right.
But a lot of people I let the narrative
Can I ask
go.
you a question on that?
Hold on a second, because
Okay.
you're trying to give me on some other shit. I'm sorry.
No, I want to ask you about this now.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you say you made more money at UFC 205 than you did with Jake Paul fights, can I ask you how much money you made at UFC 205?
A lot. It was at that time, it was a record-breaking UFC. It's still the highest gate ever in the Madison Square Garden. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Ali. It's still the highest grossing gate ever in the history of Madison Square
Did you make, okay, you don't have to tell me specifically.
Garden. I made millions.
Higher than 2 million?
Yeah.
Higher than 3 million?
Yes, but I'm not going to keep going.
Oh, come
I made
on!
a lot of money.
All right,
But at
fine,
the
that's
end
fine.
of the
I'll
day-
respect it.
But at the end of the day, it's like this. When you look at the fight, does it help me to say this is not the biggest bag I'm making? It doesn't help me. Because I'm going to tell you what did happen. By me allowing that narrative to take place, I made the most money in sponsorships I ever
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I made the most money in sponsorships I ever made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No patches on me for less than 100,000. That was like, it was a lot of money. I made a lot of money in sponsorships. So
So those
I
dice
had
came
to-
up 7 a lot for you.
my value increased as far as marketing and branding, because when you on a pay-per-view, there's no commercials. You can't put a McDonald's, what's the name, you just got a job
Right.
at McDonald's fucking commercial. You got to advertise on the equipment. You got to advertise through the athlete. So now people understood that through boxing. That's why you don't see them with a lot of patches. You see them with 1 or 2, maybe a watch or something like that, but they're making bread off of those.
Yeah.
So now I'm into that realm. Now I'm still into that realm.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be on me for less than, 7 figures.
Sure. All right, hold that thought. We're going to have more on this when we come back from break.
Wipe, then fold, then wipe, flush away. With Dude Wipes, you'll have a clean but great day. Now, why do Dude Wipes clean better?
Because they're extra large?
Because they're flushable.
Because obviously wet cleans better than dry.
Let's watch. See how the wet side clears while the dry just smears.
Just like our butts. It's just like our butts!
Dude Wipes. Best clean, pants down.
We're going to fire through some topics right now because I'm going to get your opinion on a bunch of these things, all right? Number one, you haven't fought in 2 years. Who's your next fight going to be?
Shit, I'm producing my own fucking fight. Whoever want to fight for the biggest bag ever known to their pocketbook, holla at your boy. You gotta have a big name, big draw.
Okay.
I offered George St. Pierre. He said, man, I'm not in that world anymore.
Nice.
I offered Nick Diaz. He liked the post. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Yes or no. He didn't say anything.
So Nick, not Nate.
Of that Khaled. Nick. I feel like Nick's an OG. I feel like people that are pioneers in the game, they should get paid for what they did. So I'm offering guys that I feel like really put it on and didn't get the money when the money started coming in.
Would love to see you and Nick Diaz.
So some caliber.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I heard a birdie whispered in my ear. I speak bird. Floyd Mayweather.
I was actually supposed to fight Floyd Mayweather.
Really?
Gotti was a replacement. He's a side piece.
Huh.
I was supposed to be the original fight in June.
Okay.
And I don't know
3
what
years
happened.
ago, that would have gotten you shot.
I don't know if that was materialized. Oh, damn, I did say that. You know what? Hey, I got time for the extra refreshments in between the segments. But at the end of the day, it makes sense. This wasn't the first time it happened to me. It's been 2 years. I took a year to be normal. Let me be real.
Yep.
From 10 years old to 40 years old, I was an athlete nonstop, no breaks.
Yep.
Never took a break. Straight through 30 years. It's a long fucking time.
Okay.
That's
the life story, though, Tyron. This is called the quick segment.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Get to that shit then.
What was the deal with how far did the Floyd Mayweather negotiations go?
Till we got to the bag.
And then what happened?
He said this is a small budget, and we're gonna resurface this when we got more money. I said, well, I have investors as well. What do we need to do? No talk, no conversation. That's how the Gotti project.
And then he ghosted?
I mean, I'm not saying he ghosted. What I'm saying is that the Gotti fight produced after that. So
Understood. All right, let's talk about another thing, right?
It was kind of weird in the beginning.
Yeah. Do you think, let me ask you a question. Do you go into a Floyd Mayweather fight? You go into a Floyd Mayweather fight thinking you can win that fight, in all seriousness?
I mean, I go into every fight fucking thinking I can win.
Could you knock out Floyd Mayweather?
End of the day, yes, I can knock him out.
Interesting.
Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer, right?
I agree.
Now, he's the tough fight. I'm bigger than Floyd, right? I punch harder than Floyd. But Floyd has been doing the boxing thing for so fucking long. He's been the best at it. He's never stopped. He's never stopped training. When they offered me the fight, I've been offered Floyd Mayweather 3 or 4 times before the fight was offered. The offer came from Floyd. I said, is it from Floyd? If it's from Floyd, it's a go. It says from Floyd. It said, done. Let's do it. What day? What time? Let me know.
And then
because out of respect, when people offer me, I said, don't offer me a fight against somebody that introduced me to GT.
Right.
Gerald Tucker, which is my boxing coach. I said, if you offer me a fight against Floyd, that's disrespectful because he actually introduced me to the guy that put me in a position to be able to fight a Floyd, right? But when they said it was from Floyd, my answer was yes. 100%. Let's do it.
Do you think a Floyd fight at this point ever happens, or do you think that ship is sailed?
I don't know. It was weird when it came in, but it came in.
Yeah.
And when it came in, I said yes. It was supposed to be a Miami fight on the same date that he fought Gotti. And for some reason, it was a Gotti fight, but they told me that the budget was low.
Right.
I said, I got investors. I got people that would love to see this fight happen. Right. Let me know what you need money-wise.
It sounds to me like, realistically, I love you, Tyron. This fight ain't going to happen now.
I mean, I feel like this. At the point in time that I was sitting there looking at this fight, I recognized that people are going to take the easier fight for the same money all fucking day of the week.
Okay.
If you don't do that, you're a dumbass. KSI, you are a dumbass, but technically you did the same shit January 14th. January 14th, me and KSI was contracted with a fucking whole agreement that I signed to fight January 14th in the Toyota Arena in Houston, Texas. Me versus him versus...
So why did he bail? Why did he bail out?
Well, he got a gift. Logan Paul injured himself in Saudi Arabia doing WWE. He was slated to fight Dylan Dennis, right? So instead of him fighting me anyway, he took Logan's opponent and fought Dylan Dennis.
Got it.
Didn't work out. Dylan didn't come to the show. He fought somebody else. Even at that point, when he fought Temper, FaZe Clan, shout out to FaZe Clan, I would throw the folk up, but people don't recognize this action. We're a gang sign. And FaZe Clan gonna get FaZe Clan better not go to Chicago. They're gonna get shot because the FaZe Clan logo is really folk, which is actually what I did when I was younger.
Okay, right. Know that.
But in the end of the day, KSI was supposed to fight me January 14th. Contract and everything. I can show it to you and prove it to you.
Right.
He flaked and took Dylan Dennis because Logan Paul got injured in Saudi Arabia.
Quick thoughts on KSI.
Ain't none of this shit quick.
KSI is watching this right now. What do you have to say to KSI?
KSI, I'm wearing a bandana because the shit lit, not because my line ain't pushed back. Yo shit back here.
That's a cheap shot at a receding airline.
Yo shit lit. Why you worried about it?
I'm not. All right. Let's pretend I have a time machine. You can go back into the prime Tyron Woodley.
Never go back.
I want to go back, though.
Tyron Woodley.
Right, okay. Yes.
Prime Tyron Woodley at that time was athletically prime, but now I'm
okay.
physically, mentally, emotionally prime.
Well,
I was physically there, but I was mentally fucked up. I was emotionally fucked up, and I was living like a rock star, and that's not what a champion does. Right now, I am the prime Tyron Woodley.
Okay, so prime Tyron Woodley right now gets to fight any fighter in the last 20 years. Who's the fighter that you want to see?
St. Pierre, he's the greatest.
So why would he fight you? Why didn't he fight you?
He didn't fight me because at that point in time, it didn't make sense for him to fight me. He had already did what he needed to do. I came after his reign. Had I been at the same time, I believe he would have fought me because he was fighting the Matt Hugheses. He was fighting everybody in that point in time that was the best. I just unfortunately was a little bit younger. I got into the game a little bit later, and it didn't make sense for his career.
Prime Tyron Woodley versus prime George St. Pierre.
I'm winning that. I'm winning. I've always felt in my body, my soul, my spirit, that Tyron Woodley is too much to handle for George St. Pierre. I always felt it. I still believe it. And that's why I offered him the fight.
Does it end in a Darce choke, or does it end with you beating the living hell out of him?
It ends me making an example out of George St. Pierre. Because at the end of the day, he was the first motherfucker that trained with the best of the best.
Got it. Who is who sucks this week? Who sucks? Who do you look at?
Fucking hackers suck.
Who? Hackers suck.
Hackers suck.
That's true. But you know what sucks about hackers, though? You got to be careful when you talk shit to hackers because they'll just hack you again.
Oh, you're right. I love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
That's right.
The show
Put
Shit Right Quick
crypto in my account.
Hey, Real Shit Right Quick loves hackers.
That's right. So don't fuck with us because we're your friends.
Yeah, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's next for you, man? What's going on? What's on the horizon? I know you're working on a ton of stuff where you're not beating people up.
You know, I've been working on a very special project for over a year now, since November of last year. So I have a company called the Realest International Promotion Trip. Come take a trip. Everybody want to increase tourism in the Middle East. We're launching it in Dubai, in the Middle East. That's where our business is licensed at, but it's worldwide West Side when we come down to it. So basically what Trip is, we're promoting all things art. Not just mixed martial arts. I'd be a fool if I didn't promote that. But music festivals, specialty events, cryptocurrency, e-sporting events, as well as boxing and other sports. So basically what we're doing is anything that's an art form, we're going to promote. And one component of the company is we're consulting. There's a lot of business going on, but I feel like I can bring a different level of integrity to the business that's taking place in the Middle East.
Right.
There's a lot of people trying to carve themselves as middlemen, and I don't really like that because the ultimate bag, I need to get all that. When you include yourself, you're cutting some fat off the top.
Sure.
And in sport and management, especially mixed martial arts, it's very saturated. It's very gross in that sport where people are involving themselves to cut fat off the top of a deal. I don't think that's a business integrity. So that's the Trip enterprise. We're going to go crazy. We already launched. We viral with it. So I'm excited about it.
When am I going to get like a hat?
And the logo dumb now. You already know I got to come with the drip. So I get you a hat soon. Logo drop soon. But yeah, the Realest International Promotion Trip. Come take a trip. Come take a ride. Come join this journey of all love.
That's it. Rub it up. Dude, it's been a little bit since we've been doing this together.
It's been a while. I appreciate you, my dog. Hey,
I appreciate you too.
The realest motherfucking podcast.
In all seriousness,
this one right here.
I want to say this real quick before everyone to hear. Tyron Woodley and I have known each other for about 8 years now, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. When we were doing our show, after I left TMZ, we stayed in contact. He's a good dude. He calls me, asks about my kids. Like, he's a really good dude. And
it's my dog.
It's a great honor to be doing this.
I bust a motherfucking medulla oblongata over my dog.
I appreciate that. I love Tyron Woodley. You're the best. I'm so glad we're doing this again today.
I love my man. Let's do it.